By 2040, Dubai hopes to be one of the world's most livable cities. The only problem? Right now, it's a bit of a jumble. Expressways crisscross neighborhoods, public transportation is scarce, and mega projects are separated from crucial infrastructure. Furthermore, man-made islands are sinking. It is the most abrasive. According to critics, the city has a collection of postcard attractions linked by major motorways. To sort it all out, a dramatic new plan to adequately urbanize this desert city by 2040 has been unveiled. Is it, however, truly possible to repair Dubai? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to get the latest updates. Another thing we're all pondering is, what will the Divine look like in 2040? It's starting to look like a familiar sight. The Burj Khalifa is lit up with brilliant LEDs and pyrotechnics. The press is flooded with glossy graphics and superlative remarks, people-focused urban plan, but this project is different. It's not a skyscraper or the world's largest whatever, but rather an idea. One that has the potential to drastically alter Dubai. Forward is the only direction the country blows inside the UAE, they say. 3 current locations would be redeveloped into new city centers, as well as wholly new financial technology areas, as elements of a 2014 master strategy to increase creativity and inventiveness. Establishing 8,000 square feet of green pathways for pedestrians and cycling will cost $680 million. Neighborhoods will be transformed into 15-minute cities with their own commercial and leisure districts. And, to connect it all, a major new public transit infrastructure will be developed within 800 meters of half of the population. This means that those people will never be more than half a mile from public transportation, effectively making the entire city walkable, and that critical education and health facilities will be enhanced by 25%. Furthermore, environmental preserves and animal sanctuaries would cover 60% of the Emirates. It's stunning, but it's also very standard when you think about it. Isn't it true that all well-functioning international cities should have public transportation, green space locations for recreation, and financial centers? Yes, but Dubai isn't a typical city, and it was never intended to be. To comprehend why such a large-scale master plan is now required, you have to wrap your brain around how we ended ourselves here. Dubai was a modest trading port with a population of around 30,000 people half a century ago. That changed in 1966 when oil was discovered. To most of us, oil is just the material that fuels the automobile to Arabia. It's a revolution, to be sure. There isn't a single item it doesn't affect. It was a small quantity by Middle Eastern standards, while neighboring Abu Dhabi possessed 10 times more. However, it was sufficient to finance the ruler Shaker Shield's lofty ambitions. He realized that for Dubai to exist beyond the oil long-range shots, it would have to attract the attention and investment of the rest of the world. Do you despise the term crisis? Let's take on the Arabian Peninsula instead. Every day is a problem for us, from getting enough water to finding something to eat. Therefore, we take it on as a task. I'm smack in the middle of nowhere. Dubai was destined to become an aviation superhub from the start. With easy access to Europe, Asia, and Africa, the city's airport swiftly became the world's busiest by international passengers, but not everyone from around the world visits the Zed little kingdom. They're perfectly respectable vultures, just bankers and businessmen doing their jobs by lowering sales and income taxes in the city, as well as for businesses and investors. But it meant the government needed to find a new steady source of revenue. With minimal taxes and a limited source of oil, they turned to tourism and rapidly learned that great megaprojects could entice visitors away from the airport. And that's where Dubai is planning to build it, and they'll be the ones to come up with the idea or start it. It was a policy that worked, but critics say it favored gloss and glamour above substance. Even if the proposal made little sense in and of itself, it appeared that if something does promote tourism and investors to the 50-degree desert heat, it would most likely be approved. That meant that the project's development was, and even sometimes ahead of the infrastructure. One of the most well-known examples is the Burj Khalifa, where it has been extensively reported that the tower is not connected to the city's sewage infrastructure. The world's tallest building could hold 1.4 million people when full capacity, and the city rapidly recognized it wouldn't be able to handle the quantity of rubbish it would generate. As a result, rather than increasing the city's sewage infrastructure, various advantages that dedicated protected green space can provide, all of which are outlined in the document. That is, in some ways, the most difficult task. To make the 2040 plan truly work, the city needs a nearly complete paradigm shift in its thinking and strategy. The success of Dubai's existing approach makes switching to a new one extremely difficult. However, the downtown area now appears ready to take the plunge. Dubai's leadership has a good understanding of what it takes for an international metropolis to prosper, and they want to imitate the effects of other cities. As a result, we'll see a significant capital works program here in Dubai, as well as increased entrepreneurship and investment in areas that the city requires to remain successful in the future. The master plan is really a high-level roadmap, so if you look at social media, you'll see that the people talking about it aren't urban planners or architects, but ordinary people on the street. It's assisting them in imagining their city's future. Dubai's phenomenal growth has captured the attention of the entire world. However, now it is necessary to evolve from building it, and they will come to adapters for them to stay. Kindly subscribe to Engineering Progress if you enjoyed this video and would like to explore more videos.